Hello.
All right, I got you.
Cool, cool. I can't see your video at the moment, unless that's
Yeah, my
intentional.
my video on this iPad is disabled, so you don't get you don't get to see my morning face. Unfortunately,
Oh
I have to.
no. I think I imagine Grace has looked at GMT instead of BST because she thinks it's in an hour's time. But hey ho,
Oh yeah,
we just need to do what we need to do, which is
yeah, no worries at all, dude.
yeah, which is cool, which is cool. So I was just editing the proposal so I can guide you guys through how I kind of do it as well. And there's a couple of ways to do it, so you can have either as well. How have you been getting on anyway?
Oh, things have been well, dude. I haven't been able to do much with the chatbot agency stuff, so I will at some point have to like circle back around with you for some questions.
Yeah.
But everything's just been a lot of juggling, and then of course I was out of town for about 2 weeks combined between Chad's event. I was back for exactly one day, and then we went to my friend's wedding in France and did a little vacation in Barcelona. So it's just been a lot of bouncing around for the past 2 weeks straight.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, but so are things back to normal now?
Yeah, as normal as my life probably will ever be. So
I like it. So what I've actually done a video on this before, but I'm gonna do it again because the file corrupted, which was really annoying.
yeah, I
So
remember you telling me that. Yeah.
but yeah, I'm gonna do it in a little bit more detail as well, and I can also answer any questions you've got. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up a virtual whiteboard so I can draw crap. Virtual. But apart from all the traveling, you're good, yeah?
Oh man, everything's great, dude. Really having a great time. I see
Hey
Grace's
guys.
little icon here. What's
Hello,
up?
hello.
Hey, Grace. How you doing?
Hey. Good. How are you guys?
I'm good,
Doing
thank you.
well.
Seems like it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been very busy.
Yeah, hopefully in a good way, though.
Yes, in a good way. Just listing houses here and there, and getting buyers. But I've been referring them out, so I haven't even like really started doing anything with the side gig with ManyChat. But oh yeah, I was gonna say I can go ahead and have my 14-year-old son learn this, and he can be my he can fulfill the order, and I can just sell, right?
Yeah, nice. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Elias, have you got a 14-year-old off the street you can bring in or anything?
Well, there are a lot of random teenagers around my neighborhood. Maybe I can go catch one.
Cool, cool. Right, okay. So what we're going to do today? We're going to talk about the closing the sale part. In your marketing hub, you will have loads and loads of resources and stuff like that. If there's anything missing, let me know. I'm going to put this document that I'm going to show you shortly as well into there and template it out a little bit more. Just make sure there's no personal data in there. But we're going to talk about how to go through the sales process and how that's actually structured as well. Is that cool?
Sounds
Yeah.
great, dude.
Great. Okay. So we are recording. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to go like that so I know where to cut it as well. Okay. I'm going to put you both on mute. There we go. Right. 3, 2, 1. Hey, welcome to today's training. And in today's training, we are going to be talking about how to close the sale. And this part is really important because at the end of the day, you can do all the work on the free trial, you can build the bot, you can do the ads, but if you can't close the sale at the end of it and turn them into a paying customer, then you're not going to be successful. So I'm going to share my screen on here, and we're going to talk about how this process works. And this is really important. So we're just gonna lay out on here. So we start off with the free trial. Okay, so we do the free trial for the customer. Once at the end of the free trial, now if it's a local business, then you can actually go in and see them and build that relationship. Because if you're going in and see them in person, you're going to have an even stronger relationship with them. However, if you can't go in and see them in person, then you just you make sure you get them on a Zoom call. So the best way to do that is pre-arrange before you start the free trial, pre-arrange when that meeting is going to be. So that's already booked in the calendar for you and for them. If it's not in their calendar, that's not a confirmed meeting. So make sure it's in their calendar as well. So once we've done the free trial, the next part we're going to do is then we go in and talk about the results. So talk about results. Now, the best way to talk about the results is to actually get them to fill in the information. So you tell them the stuff that you know, but they don't. But also when it comes to things like average lifetime value with a customer and stuff like that, we're going to talk about the actual, like, how to break that down shortly as well. But when it comes to talking about the results, the more information you can get them to fill in, the more they are bought into the process. So, like, you know, when you're going to buy a car or a house, they'll go, let's just do the paperwork. They get you start writing things in, and then before you know it, you bought the car or you bought the house without even realizing it, because you get that consistent behavior, and then you want to finish what you've started. So you get them to talk about the results, but we get them to fill it in with us on a spreadsheet, which I'm going to show you shortly. Once they've talked about the results and they've gone, wow, that was really good, yeah, it's worked really well. The important thing is just before, so probably about 12 hours before you go there, something like that, 12 to 24 hours before, you're going to up the spend. So save a bit of your budget until the last day. So you're going to up some of that ad spend, because what you want is them to be getting notified as you're going through that meeting, talking about the results. You want them to be getting notified over and over again, going, new lead, new lead, new lead, new lead. Okay, so then they're going to be like, oh my God, this phone's been doing my head in all week. It just keeps going off. And you're like, yeah, but isn't that what you want? Don't you want more customers? Yeah, I do. Great. So you talk about the results, they go, wow, the results have been brilliant because you're going to follow the system. It's all going to work lovely. Once you've talked about the results, you're then going to go, okay, so can I just get what you agreed to give me at the start, which was a quick testimonial? And they go, yeah, that's fine. Great. So if you're on Zoom, you go, right, I'm just going to press record. And if you are on in person, then you just get them to stand wherever and record it there. Now, it's important when you're getting that testimonial that you're asking the right questions. What was it like before I came along? What was it like working during with me? What is the result after? And what are you going to do next? What would you say to anyone who's on the fence? What are you going to do next? Okay, so by asking those 4 questions, you are literally setting up the sale ready for them to buy. So the next stage is testimonial. Okay, so because they're going to say before, so let's say Elias or Grace. So before Elias came along, we were really struggling to get customers in on a weekday, and it was really slow over lunchtime. But then when we started working with him, we started to see immediate results. Already, we've had this many people in, and you'll find sometimes with different business owners, they're not great at chucking this stuff off the cuff. So you just prompt them and then edit out your voice. So you can do it 1 question at a time, which is really nice. So you just start off and just go, okay, what was it like working before working with me? How was business? Well, go. And then you pause. Make sure you allow a big enough pause to edit it down normally. Then once you've done that, then you're going to go, okay, what was it like during working with me during this week? Working with Paul was, and then over to them. And they say, working with Paul was like this. And then after that, they're going to say, okay, what has been the result of us working together? And then they say, the result of us working together is, blah, 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 blah. And then say, what would you say to anyone who's on the fence about putting this in the business and moving forward with it? And then they're going to give the advice that then they have this consistent behavior around of going, okay, I need to carry on with this. So we take the testimonial, that part, and then you go, okay, so we just sit down and let's see what the next steps are. Notice the language there. Don't go, so we sit down and we can talk about how much it costs. Never say that. You don't need to say that at all. Okay, so we just sit down and talk about the next steps then. Yeah, great, cool. And make sure this meeting that you have scheduled as well, you've scheduled out an hour. Okay, so you say, let's schedule out an hour. You can also try as well doing half an hour, schedule half an hour and just say, oh, by the way, if it runs over, will that be okay? But make sure on your calendar you schedule an hour because you know you're going to go into your sales pitch as well. So once you've done that part, you talk about the results, you talk about the testimonial, and then you sit down and you go through the numbers. And at this point, we do the 12-month numbers. Okay, so the 12-month numbers are basically, we've talked about the results have gone, oh, wow, that's really good. I've seen the lifetime value of each customer. And they're like, oh, wow, yeah, that's going to bring us in so much more business. You can go, great. Now let's have a look over the next 12 months, how much that's actually going to bring you in. Okay. And then you ask again, get them to tell you the numbers. So you said your average customer value per transaction is $35. Is that correct? They're like, yes, that's correct. And you said an average customer comes in 10 times a year. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Okay, so based on the numbers that you, notice that, then based on the numbers that you have given me, right? So that the onus is on them to give you the right numbers. And if you want to be really powerful and you know the result is going to come out crazy, even say, well, let's be pessimistic. Let's be pessimistic about it. Okay, well, you're saying it's 35. Let's say it's 30 because what I don't like over promising. I'd rather over deliver. Okay, so let's say 30. Let's use those numbers. Yeah. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's great. That's great. Thanks very much. So you put the numbers in and then it comes out and you go, okay, so this is going to bring you an extra like 150,000 in business in 12 months. Now, let me ask you this. Where do you spend money on advertising at the moment? And they're like, oh yeah, well, we spent it on leaflet dropping. How much business does that bring you? I don't really know. What other kind of things do? Well, we don't really do that much stuff. With advertising like Yellow Pages, how much business that bring you? Not a lot really. But could you agree that you've seen this working already? Pause. You notice we start putting more pauses in. Would you agree that you've seen this working? Yeah. Okay. Great. So you know it works. We both know it works. So would it be unreasonable to continue doing this for a small fee for the amount that it's going to bring in for you every month? No, it wouldn't be unreasonable. So how does it work? Okay, so we've got 3 packages. We've got a budget package, which, to be honest, you're just going to get this thing on repeat. You're not going to get anything new. And it will start to wear out eventually. It's not great. So this is called, just going out of the kind of role play mode, this is called the sandwich approach. Okay, so you have this. So you have small, medium, and large. So the small package hasn't got that much stuff in it. Like, it's just got really the bare bones, the basics. It'll still do a decent job, but it's not really going to be what you want. Then we call it sandwich pricing because we put the small package at like $1,000 or $950. The medium package, they're going to get all that, but they're also going to get these extra things as well. So you're going to give them coaching on what you can do for client retention strategies. We're going to create new vouchers for them each month as well, so they can do different offers and stuff like that. And that's only $1,000, so it's only an extra $50. Or in fact, as a special today, I'm actually going to do it for the same price for you because you've just given me that testimonial. That was a glowing testimonial. Really appreciate that. You know, so use it because, right? Use the word because where you can as well. So I'm going to give you this price because you've just given me a testimonial. And then you've got large as well. So that will be something that's kind of all the bells and whistles, really extravagant. We're going to do your Instagram. We're going to do this social. We're going to post all this time as well. You bring in a VA to do the social media posting, the scheduling. We're going to do all that. But that's going to be $2,500 a month. So which one did you want? Did you want the one for $9.50 with hardly anything in it? Do you want the large one that's got loads of stuff, but it's also $2,500? Or do you want the one in the middle that's the same price as the small one, but you get everything that you need? Which one would you like? So this is what we're doing. We're doing an alternative close, and it's an assumed close as well. So there's two closes happening here. So an alternative close is not saying, do you want it, yes or no? You say, which one of these do you want? You already assume that they're buying, because why would they not buy? Because at that point, for them to say, actually, I don't think it's going to be a good fit, and you go, well, can you tell me why? Well, let's tell me what's going through your mind right now. And the reason I ask is because when you just give the testimonial to me, so this is where you start quoting the stuff back to him. So when you give the testimonial to me, you said that this will give an extra $150,000 on your business. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Okay, so would you not spend $1,000 a month? Would you not invest $1,000 a month if that would make you an extra 150,000? Like, if I literally came in here right now and I said, give me $1,000 and I will open up this suitcase full of money and give you 150,000, would you not do that? Well, I suppose I would. Okay. So is there anything else stopping you going ahead? Well, I'm not sure if it's going to work in the long term. Okay. What would take you to, what would you know that, and convince you that it would? Well, I don't know. Okay, so let's then talk about, and here's a great question to use when you say to them, on a scale of 1 to 10, note this, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to buy on the current information that I have given you so far? Right? And if they say 6, 7, something like that, that is an amazing thing. And the reason being is because then your next question is, okay, what would make that a 10? And they have literally just gone, this is how you need to sell to me. And this is not about backing people into a corner. This is about positioning things in such a way where they're actually kind of like, yeah, you're right, it is the right decision. It's just, we have something called the left brain and the right brain, right? So the right brain's going, yeah, let's do it. And then the left brain is going, yeah, but remember all those times when it didn't work with this marketer and it's all gone wrong. So you have a moral obligation, because you know this process works and you've literally just proved it on a 7-day trial. Because you know it works, you have a moral obligation to sell this to them. Okay. So that is the process of how to close the sale. And we're going to talk about the spreadsheet shortly as well. So guys, talk to me. What did you think on that?
I think it's very conversational and it's logical.
Did you understand all the steps, Grace?
Did I understand the steps? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Elias?
Yeah, everything is very logical. I like the assumed close and the giving them the options of, it's a more artful way to do the assumed close. You know what I mean? A little bit less, heavy-handed.
Okay, cool. Was there anything in that you were kind of like, that feels uncomfortable, or I'm not sure about it, or any questions that you had from it?
No, not really. I would like to hear more about the process of setting them up with the alerts so that they get pinged every time there's a new lead that comes in. Like okay. how that all gets set up on their end, because I think that's a good psychological tool as well. If they feel like, oh my gosh, I have so many of these things, I don't even want to hear the alert anymore.
Okay. So there's two ways of doing that. The first way is using something called burst SMS. And I think I might have already done a video tutorial about how to do that in the chatbot setup. The simpler version that's free, but it probably won't go to the phone quite as much, is actually when someone comes in as a new lead in your chatbot, you can put notify admin, and they will get notified every time there's a new lead straight in Messenger. So it's literally one action step in Messenger, where as soon as someone clicks, yeah, I want the coupon, then they will get a notification to say, you have a new lead. They are being called right now to follow up.
Gotcha. Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to ask about is, you may have covered this already and put it in the portal. So if it is the case, that's totally cool. We'll go back and look at that. So I've been looking around at the local market here for people that are on Groupon. Mm-hmm. And there's a ton of businesses actively working on Groupon. And I went to one the other day, and they were fine. They did a great job. They just made no constructive effort at all to use my first visit as a loss leader, like to get additional appointments or to do upsells. It was just like the whole process was not set up to take advantage of what they're hoping for, right? And their Groupon's making it even worse lately with their Groupon Select membership. I don't know if you know what that is yet.
No, I'm not aware of that.
So it's a $4.99 per month membership. And then when you sign up, you get a $20 credit, right? So psychologically, the Groupon person's like, well, I already got 4 months for free because they give me a $20 credit. And then I don't remember exactly the percentage. I think it's 25% extra, right? So say a salon has a waxing treatment that retails for $100. They're already giving the Groupon people, let's say they're offering it for $40 to make it really sexy. Well, so they charge $40 immediately. Groupon's taking $20, and then the salon's only getting $20 for a $100 treatment. But then if you do the Groupon Select thing, that's another 25% discount, right? So now you're down to $30, and I'm assuming the split is still 50-50 because they had a note in there saying that not all Groupon vendors choose to be a part of the Groupon Select program. So it obviously is something that they have to contribute financially to somewhere or the other. But let's back up psychologically and look at the fact of anybody who's going to do a monthly membership for Groupon. Now they're highly motivated to, like, well, I already spent $5 this month. I have to get my money's worth. So now I have to find a new deal or a good deal or this or that, right? So it's attracting the exact wrong kind of person into a salon. You know, do you think that person wants to build a relationship, or do you think they're going to go to the place, 2 blocks around the corner and just get the good deal next month when they need the same treatment, right? So how would you say is the best way to approach these Groupon, these businesses which are already active on Groupon? So they're advertising, they're willing to discount their services or at least do some sort of stuff. But then, how would you go about talking to that person and explaining the math of the Groupon model versus the math of the chatbot agency model, right? Because I feel like there's a huge opportunity there. I just don't really know what the best practice is to get in front of them and talk.
So yeah, I've done some of this, and the great way again is show them the numbers, but actually get them to fill in the numbers, right? So when you get to that consultation or whatever, whether it be on Zoom or in person, and you say, what information do you get from them at that point? So we're just going back into role play mode for a second. So what information are you actually getting from the customer when they come through Groupon? Because a lot of times they don't even get their email, right? So there's no value to that customer unless they're going to return. And the only way they're going to return is if they've got a lead acquisition strategy when they actually come in, which the majority of the restaurants haven't, because they're just having a full restaurant of non-paying customers, which is stupid. So you're like, here's the thing, right? Instead of paying Groupon all that money, and you can even break down, obviously with the restaurant, you go how much does it cost you though to provide that meal as well? And then they realize, oh crap, I've actually lost money to send it out, and you go, great, and how many of those repeat? And then they'll say, oh yeah, well, almost all of them. You go, how do you know that? And this is where, if you position it in a different way, you have to be very careful to position it on their side. So you kind of say something like, "Oh, cool. So what tracking are you using then?" So this is where you put that assumption in there, as opposed to taking it the other way of going, "How do you know that?" So if you kind of go, "Oh yeah, oh I'd love to see the tracking. Could you show me the tracking on that?" Yeah. What tracking? Oh, the way you track how many people that are repeat customers. Oh well, no, we just know. Oh, okay. And then they're starting to go, "Oh, I see. Okay, there might be a problem here." And you say, "Look, I believe in what you do. I believe that Groupon shouldn't take all that money. We shouldn't have to compete on price. Yes, we should do something to get people in the door. However, you should still be able to make profit on that first sale. Because then if you can make profit on it and capture all the information and bring them back in afterwards by having that information, then that's going to make you a lot more money."
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so it's positioning it by like having a little spreadsheet or something that does just a comparison. The easiest way is to just do a comparison and go, okay, how much do they take? How much do we take? So if we spent this much, so this is where you kind of go. They go, "Oh well, I've just used Groupon." You go, okay, so well, without you having to give 75% to Groupon, we can do a free trial, and it won't really cost you anything. You just cover the ad spend. So it's like, you want to make it as much of a no-brainer as possible. As regards retention strategy, I did a video on this, and I think it should be in the Marketing Hub. It's about the. Have you ever heard of the 3 napkins?
Which the DeBar Rescue guy does?
I think it might be him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this can actually be applied, to anywhere. So essentially, the first visit, they get 1 napkin color, and then at the end of the meal, they give them a free voucher to, "Oh, you've got to try this. You've got to try this. Okay, come back next time. Different napkin color. Got to try this thing. Different napkin color. Got to try this thing." So the retention rate of an average customer goes up to 71% after the 3rd visit. After the first visit, the chances of them returning, I think, are between 10 and 20%. So this is where you differ from Groupon. All Groupon do is take loads of your money and bring in customers at price hunters.
Yeah, totally.
So that's how you position it differently. You just need to be mindful that make sure you're on their side, and not the enemy, because quite a lot of restaurants and gyms and stuff, they're actually quite loyal to Groupon, which is daft. but they are. So you have to kind of just tiptoe your way in a little bit more.
Gotcha. And what about the physical, what about the actual logistical outreach? How would you go about that? Once you've identified them.
Okay, so yeah. So I've done that through cold email. So you can actually use some cold email scraping. If you search in Groupon email scraping, there'll be some videos on YouTube as well of how to do it. So you can actually scrape all the emails from Groupon and reach out to them all with cold emails, and you'll be able to collect some of the phone numbers as well, and do some of the voicemail drops. So in that respect, I would still start off reaching out in roughly the same way as before. I just wondered if you could handle another 10 to 15 people per week or whatever. The reason being is because the people on Groupon, they still are obviously looking for more customers, because otherwise they wouldn't be on Groupon. So they've still got the same pains that people who are not on Groupon have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, totally.
Okay, that's awesome. Have you got any more questions?
No, I'm good.
Cool. Grace, how are you for questions?
Well, I'm still, Paul, when you were talking about real estate agent, and right now, Elias, you can probably, confirm that people have been looking for discount agents. Like, not wanted to pay the 6% commission. They wanted to pay the 4%. And with the 3 different communities I had already, you totally planted that creativity that I should implement something like that, the 3 different pricing strategies. I mean, it's got nothing, because like what you're teaching, Paul, I mean, like it's usable, for any kind of like business model. So
and there's another thing to that as well, Grace. So education-based marketing. Okay, so if you can educate your buyer before they are a buyer, and this is slightly different from the chatbot agent side hustle, but if you can educate your buyer before they are a buyer of all the mistakes that people make when they're buying out, then they trust you more, because basically it's almost like you're having a stab at all your competition without naming names. So then they go, oh, Grace, I don't know where to go now. I'm going to have to come to you because you're the only one who actually told me this information. The like giving them a consumer guide, consumer advice guide about real estate. And then if you're going around and speaking to people for the first time, you have this consumer advice guide, and you give that to them on your first consultation with them. You don't talk about price and percentage and stuff like that, because you don't want those people. You want people who are based on value, who go, I want you to sell my house because you're a friggin' expert.
Right. And also, like, Paul, with what you're teaching with, the Bot Academy, I'm going to start going back into orthodontist lead gen, because that's exactly what I used to do. When Eli's talking about Groupon and everything like that, there's a lot of value, and that's a high ticket item. For restaurants, I have got to give that a go and give that a try. Elias, have you been having a lot of success in that category?
No, I haven't actually been doing the outreach with the restaurants. I've been busy with other stuff the past few weeks.
Okay.
Here's the thing, Grace. Whatever you choose, I want you to stick with it for at least 3 months.
3 months.
Okay, because what will happen if not, and this is what happens with so many people in lead gen, digital marketing stuff. They do something for 2 weeks, right? You'll be reaching out to all these orthodontists or whatever, and then after 2 weeks you go, I haven't got any buyers. And you go, I'm going to reach out to restaurants now, and then you go, oh, I haven't got any restaurants. I'm going to reach out to car dealers. But here's where the money is made. The money is not made on the first connection. A lot of the time, the money is made on that repeated exposure. So here's another thing you can do if you want to spend a little bit on ads. Then all those emails that you've scraped, put them into a Facebook custom audience, and then just do a retargeting ad to the people that you've sent a cold email to.
Okay.
Because it's very low cost. So you create a reach campaign as opposed to a conversion campaign, because then reach will give you all of you for lower cost because they're a custom audience.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So don't be afraid to follow up if someone hasn't got back to you as well. Reach out to them with a different angle. Again, you could quite easily create something around Elias, going back on your Groupon point. It's quite easy to create something around the whole 8 mistakes to avoid in your restaurant or something like that.
Right.
And then one of those mistakes is using 70% discount vouchers. But you don't say Groupon, but you say highly discounted vouchers and stuff like that. And you say, look, there is a way to do discount vouchers, but it's like this. And then you start to educate them along the lines. And if they don't respond, just send it to them again. Because people, like, do you read every email that you get?
Yeah, of course not.
No, exactly. So, unless it sticks out, then it's just something that you need to be persistent with in that way as well. And don't assume a lead is dead until you've contacted them a good few times, 5, 6, 7. Sometimes it takes up to 20 touch points And it might even be going and meeting them in person. If you want to speed up the process, just literally call them and speak to them in person and cold call. And it's horrible, but it works.
Gotcha.
And as a couple of recommendations as well, Fanatical Prospecting by Jeb Blount would be helpful for that. And something that I am reading at the moment as well about this kind of creating a consumer guide and that kind of stuff is Piranha Marketing by Joe Polish.
Say the title of the Joe Polish thing one more time.
Piranha Marketing, as in those horrible
Yep.
fish that eat everything.
Gotcha. Cool.
So both of those will probably help you along those lines as well. So this is pretty much the last coaching call. However, you know, if you guys, either of you got questions, I know Grace has just jumped off, but she'll probably jump back on a bit. But if either of you have got questions, you know, I'm here to support as well. But do you feel like you've got what you need to get started and do what you need to do?
Yeah, no, it sounds good, dude.
Okay, cool. So yeah, once you start getting the outreach down and everything like that as well, let me know and I can give you some support where you need it as well.
Yeah.
My time is becoming more restricted. However, you guys also got free access to the Bot Hacker Academy. So that means every 2 weeks you can be on the group coaching call.
Cool. Sounds good. Hey, can you post a link? I don't know where the thing got buried somewhere in the feed. Can you just post a link to the Marketing Hub in the group chat when you hop off as well?
I will do it right now before I hop off because share.
Sorry about that, guys. My seller was calling me.
That's okay. Right. So here's a link to the Marketing Hub again. I'm going to put this video in there as well.
Sweet.
Which would be great. Grace, two books for you to potentially get is Jeb Blount, Fanatical Prospecting,
Okay.
and Piranha Marketing by Joe Polish.
Oh yeah, I love Joe.
Yeah. He's awesome. And he talks very much about very simple ways for service-based businesses and any kind of business really, but service-based businesses in brick and mortar stores to make serious dollar. So if you follow the steps in there as well, on top of what you've learned from myself, you know, you'll have really, really good success with your clients as well. Just remember what I've taught you is just a starting point. That's a starting point to get your foot in the door, to move it forward. And then to actually like continue, you need to be focusing on how can we get the client retention up? How can we improve the customer experience? Are the staff actually like doing the frigging job? You know, you then become a consultant for that company a lot more than just a digital marketing manager who's just doing some Facebook ads, because you can bring them all the leads in the world. You can bring them into the restaurant, or you can bring them into the gym or wherever. But at the end of the day, if they're not adding a good experience when they're there, then they're just going to come once and that's it. And then they're going to say it's not working in 2 or 3 months' time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So Grace, I just said to Elias, this is the last coaching call. However, that you are both in the bi-weekly group coaching as well. So if you want any questions about this or bots in general, you'll be able to jump on that. I did do one out of sync this week, but it will be next week, 5 p.m. my time on Wednesdays.
Okay, got it.
Cool. Are you guys in the Bot Hacker Academy with Paul Ace?
I don't think I'm in there yet. I'll request access in a bit.
I will.
Yeah, I think I am.
Okay.
I think I am, because you had like a syllabus, and I think like back in the day, like February of early this year, was that you had like, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I think I'm already a member of that.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to check. Oh yeah, I can see your face on there. That's cool. Elias, I'm just going to add you now. Great. Grace, is there anything that you feel that hasn't been covered that you were expecting from this?
No, not that I can think of what I don't know. It's something I don't know. But as I progress and do more, I'm sure that I'll be asking the group for help.
Yeah, that's fine. And do you feel? Do you? That's a leading question. How obviously you both paid $497 for this. So how much value do you feel like you've gained from it? Do you feel like you've gained $497 more or less?
I just got paid my commission. It was 3,240 was my commission. It was like our first meeting.
Boom.
And I incorporated what you had said, and then from what I've learned from real estate. But when I did your method, I landed that listing, and they interviewed like 4 other agents, and I was the least experienced one, and I sold their house in 4 days, and over asking with multiple offers. And so because you said just be quiet, and like the soft close, I wasn't like a dragon lady.
Yeah, because all real estate got such a position in real estate to do that, because so many real estate agents are all like, oh my God, I'm going to sell your house. Yeah, I'm going to do this. It's got this and this. And you're like, so what do you want?
Right. And so I just want to let you know, Paul, that because of that deal, they have another house for me to sell. And this one's going to be $500,000 worth.
So how much will that make you?
Hold on. Let me calculate that. One moment, please.
It's good to know for me. just to know that.
$500,000. My commission is that. My take home is this. About $11,000.
Right. So by taking this 497 course, that's going to make you at least $14,000 altogether.
14,000, because so far before even this program had ended, you said this is the last call. I just got paid my commission last week, and that was $32.40.
Wow.
And so 497, $32.40. Oh yeah, I've definitely 6x my my investment.
I like that.
And that's just one client, and I haven't really like tapped into the restaurants or the gyms or the orthodontist, and that this is just the beginning.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, Grace, I'd use the things that you've learned in here and actually use that more in real estate, because I think you can make some very, very big deals by positioning yourself as someone who listens and not talks.
Yes.
There's miles of opportunity in that industry, especially American real estate is probably even worse than the English ones for overhype. So that's really good. And Elias, obviously you're kind of at an earlier stage in terms of, have you felt like you've been able to implement anything at this point or not?
No, honestly, no, because I've been so split in my focus. And then with being on the road off and on for the past few weeks was, took me out of circulation here in the local market. But yeah, no, I mean, I think everything that you're teaching in here is good stuff. So, I mean, all you need is one client to make up for the $497. So I think the price is good, but I'll definitely cycle back around with you if and when I have any questions about the stuff as I go through the older videos in the Marketing Hub.
Okay, yeah, that's brilliant. And one final question for the both of you as well is, so I'm focusing most of my attention on the mass basis towards the Bot Hacker Academy. So if you guys would be interested, I can set you up a private bot link as an affiliate for that. And do you think that you have 3 people that would be a good recommendation for the Bot Hacker Academy?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Send it over.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. And I'll figure out how I'll probably cover the first month of the actual WhatsApp will go to you anyway, and then I'll do the affiliate commission that way. Because I think I'm going to put it up to $97 soon, just so I get the right people in there.
I'm gonna be richer, yay!
Love it. Cool. So thanks very much, guys. You've been wonderful students, and I will catch up with you both soon. I'll put this video also in the Marketing Hub once it's been edited down.
Awesome.
All right, man. Have a good day.
Fellas. All right. See ya.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.